NFL Week 12, Thursday Night Football, Bills, Texans. We got the win in last week's Thursday night game. Let's see if we can keep it going here. We have a rare non-divisional game on Thursday Night Football. 7 out of the last 10 Thursday Night Football games this season have featured divisional foes. So what that means is we can apply the negative bump down for the road team. We know Thursday Night Football is a short week, less time to prepare with teams having just played a couple days ago on Sunday. But the road team is impacted more by this because they lose some of that prep time to travel. But not sure that alone is enough to click in Houston, so let's dig a little deeper here. Line history is pretty tricky here because if we look at the look ahead line, which is an available betting line the week prior to the game, it showed Buffalo minus 2.5, which is a considerable adjustment up to the current line of Buffalo minus 6. This, of course, has to do with the Texans quarterback situation. Buffalo minus 2.5 was factoring in Stroud, or at least a potential possibility of Stroud being at quarterback. We know now it's going to be Davis Mills starting. But by the time Stroud was officially announced out on early Tuesday afternoon, this line was already 5.5. So it only had to adjust a half point to 6.5 after Mills was officially named the starter. Question now is, has it moved too much? I think maybe it has. Davis Mills has started 2 games, but has basically played in 3 games. He first took over for Stroud early in the second quarter versus the Broncos 3 weeks ago. He's 2-0 as a starter with wins over the Jags and then the Titans last week. Hasn't been super impressive or anything, but with this Texans defense, you only really need the quarterback position to be average. It's safe to say Stroud is the better quarterback, but we're not talking about going from some elite level quarterback down to like a below league average quarterback. All we're trying to do here really is figure out if Davis Mills is a 3.5 point downgrade from Stroud. I don't think so. One of the first things, or I guess rules you could say, that I learned when I first started betting, never bet against a team who has the better defense when they're at home and getting points. This matchup here certainly applies with the Texans being the better defense, they're at home and getting points. This has been on my mind recently because I broke this rule in the Kansas City-Denver game a couple days ago. I didn't bet KC, but I had them in a bunch of different pick'em contests. And of course, after I lost, it's when I started to think about how I went against this rule. Better defense as home dogs. I'm not going to break that rule 2 weeks in a row. I did try to back test this rule just to see what the record would be if you bet every home dog that had the better defense. The tricky part was defining what makes it a better defense. But what I came up with was, since 2015, home dogs who allow fewer average points than their opponent are 66, 44, and 3. That's 60% against the spread, which is really good. But again, I'm not sure a defense is automatically better if they just allow fewer points. Or, maybe it is. But regardless, I'm going to go with Houston here plus 6. Josh Allen was held in check versus last year's version of this Texans defense. Maybe that happens again this year with an improved version of the Texans defense. Texans won this last head-to-head meeting by a field goal, and they were -2 in turnover differential. And I know a lot has changed since last season, but Texans were favorites of -1 in that game. Now with Davis Mills as the starter, Houston's plus 6. I'll take it. Normally when teams have a big divisional game on deck, they can kind of get caught in these like look ahead letdown spots. Houston has a big divisional game on deck versus the Colts next week, but not sure Houston will be in a letdown spot here at home on primetime standalone game against one of the elite teams in their conference. So give me the Texans plus 6, better defense, at home, getting points. If you like these game previews and want me to do more of them, let me know with a like or a comment. I do game breakdowns for every game every week for members of my Discord, but I just don't have time to film, edit, and then upload them on social media unless I start noticing like a bigger demand for them or something. But if you've watched this far, thank you. I really appreciate it. Until next time, good luck with your bets.